everyone has forgotten who Peter Parker is, right? But with Spider-Man Brand New Day on the horizon, a lot of theories have been floating around on the internet about what's going to happen, who's going to be in it, and so on. One of these theories has just been genuinely kind of brain dead. With the Hulk and Bruce Banner showing up in the film, the theory is that it's going to recreate a moment from the comics where everyone's forgotten who Peter Parker is, but Hulk says to Peter, he recognizes him. And then Peter's going to be like, why? How do you recognize me? And then he's going to be like, well, Banner forgot, but Hulk remembers. And everyone's getting excited. They're blowing this up online. They're saying like, oh, that would be so cool. I don't think that would be cool. That doesn't make sense at all because they haven't interacted on screen. Like, sure, they could have met at Tony's funeral, but that's the only realistic time they would have met. And that was not Hulk. That was just Bruce Banner and Hulk's body.
I see this as an absolute win.
Something you need to understand is that when Bruce said that he merged both the brains and the brawn together, he didn't mean that he merged both Hulk and Bruce Banner's personalities. He just meant putting his brain into the Hulk's body. The Hulk as a separate persona is not merged with Bruce Banner. So even if they met, saying that Hulk would remember who Peter Parker was doesn't make any sense. And also, it's not very smart to kind of just off-screen these kind of important interactions if they thought that something like this could happen in the future. Like, you would think that they would at least meet each other in one of the Avengers movies, right? If they thought this kind of interaction would happen in a later film. And I'm not going to blame the writers on this because, they're not going to plan that far ahead. But it doesn't make any sense for people to be like, Hulk can now have this kind of connection with Peter Parker. Yeah, he can have something like that with Peter, but that will happen in the movie in its own unique way. Like, Bruce and Peter will meet, they'll have interactions, they'll build up some sort of like a dynamic, but that's going to happen for the very first time in this movie. There's nothing to build off of from previous stuff, right? There would be no emotional weight if they decide to do Hulk Remembers because that relationship has not been established on screen. When a movie off-screens development like that, or when an arc reaches a conclusion without showing us how it got there, then it feels cheap and unearned. So, in my opinion, I hope that they really don't do that. And people need to realize that the MCU is not and never was a one-to-one adaptation of the comics, and it shouldn't be. If Brand New Day was comic accurate, then the Punisher would be pulling a Tropic Thunder and becoming black. Oh, so now you don't like comic accuracy, huh? But in all seriousness, I would just say, temper your expectations, people. Let this movie stand on its own. This isn't The Amazing Spider-Man 3. This isn't Raimi's Spider-Man 4. This isn't a Spider-Verse movie. This is Tom Holland's Peter Parker. And you know what? I am still excited for Hulk and Spider-Man to meet on screen because I hope that they build up a similar kind of dynamic where they have a weirdly trusting yet comforting kind of dynamic. The older scientist and the young prodigy. I mean, it's a tried and true Spider-Man trope, but I mean, it keeps working. So yeah, I hope that Brand New Day stands on its own and brings us something cool and unique to the Spider-Man movies. And if you guys are excited about Brand New Day as well, let me know what you think and what you think is going to happen in the movie. But apart from that, that's all from me. Take care.
Don't even get me started on Doctor Strange and the little nerd back on Earth 1999-99.